Cute and cuddly, these creatures definitely aren't. Number one will probably give you nightmares, not only because it looks scary as heck, but also because of its abhorrent behavior. Stay tuned to find out just what that is. Here are 10 of the scariest land animals you won't believe actually exist. Number 10. The milkweed assassin bug. With assassin right there in the name, you probably expect the milkweed assassin bug to be a calculated killer. And oh boy, you'd be right. It tries to look and act just like the harmless milkweed bug that feeds only on insects, but don't let this bug fool you. It does this to attract other insects so it can stab them with its large fang and drink their blood. It has venomous saliva that can spread infectious diseases, chagas, in humans. Milkweed assassin bugs can deliver a painful bite thanks to the venom found in their saliva. It's so powerful that it can literally melt the tissues and organs of other insects into liquid form. Humans, on the other hand, are made of stronger stuff. You'll feel a sting from the venom, and it might cause a painful lump under your skin for a few days, but that's about it. It won't have any long-term consequences for you, unless the bug that bit you is carrying the parasites responsible for Chagas disease. Then I'd start worrying. Number 9. The black flying fox. I don't know about you, but I find it hard to believe that Count Dracula can turn into one of those tiny vampire bats. If there was an animal that the famous bloodsucker can plausibly turn into, it would be this nocturnal flying monster. The black flying fox is one of the largest bats in the world. Moreover, this animal is the largest bat in Australia. The black flying fox is known for its amazingly long wingspan of more than a meter. Its body is almost totally black, except for the rusty red fur around its neck as well as white-tipped hairs on the abdomen. They are nocturnal creatures and rest during the day in large groups called camps. A single such camp may contain as many as hundreds of thousands of black flying foxes, like an army of darkness readying itself to attack when night falls. But don't you worry, because they're purely vegetarian, preferring food sources such as eucalypt blossoms or ripening mangoes. Number 8. The satanic leaf-tailed gecko. Maybe it's the lidless eyes, or maybe the tiny little horns, or the way its vertical pupils stare into the depths of your soul, or the bright red inside of their mouths. Whatever the reason, the satanic leaf-tailed gecko truly deserves its name, as well as a recurring spot on many of our lists. However, their appearance is not used for scaring the living daylights out of people. It's actually for camouflage. The satanic leaf-tailed geckos live solely in trees thanks to their sticky toes. Not only are the bottoms of their toes made of millions of tiny plates, but they also have curved claws for extra grip. These plates allow movement across smooth vertical surfaces like glass. If that doesn't provide enough holding power, the satanic leaf-tailed gecko can also use its tail to wrap around branches. During the day, these geckos use a variety of tactics to stay safe from predators like eagles, snakes, and rats. Besides camouflage, they can also flatten their bodies to minimize their shadow, open their jaws wide to show the bright red mouths, or shed their tail and run away. Number 7. The Gila monster. Easily identified by their black bodies marked with dramatic patterns of pink, orange, or yellow, Gilas are found in the Mojave, Sonoran, and Chihuahuan deserts of the southwestern US and northwestern Mexico. At a length of up to 2 feet and a maximum weight extending 5 pounds, the venomous Gila monster is the largest lizard native to the United States. The Gila monster is one of only a handful of venomous lizards in the world. Its venom is a fairly mild neurotoxin, and though a Gila bite is extremely painful, none has resulted in a reported human death. Unlike snakes, which inject venom, Gilas latch onto victims and chew to allow neurotoxins to move through grooves in their teeth and into the open wound. This makes the bite significantly more painful. But don't you worry about one of these things crawling up your bed in the dead of night, as they aren't active hunters. Gilas are lethargic creatures that feed primarily on eggs raided from nests and newborn mammals. They may spend more than 95% of their lives in underground burrows, emerging only to feed and occasionally to bask in the desert sun. Number 6. The Goliath bird-eater spider. Goliath bird-eater spiders are the largest spiders in the world, both in weight and size. And funnily enough, this monstrosity is not from Australia, but is more located in South America. These heavyweights can weigh in at over 6 ounces and be up to 11 inches across with their legs spread. Like all tarantulas, they have a large abdomen and a smaller cephalothorax. The spider spinnerets are at the end of its abdomen, and its fangs are at the front of its cephalothorax. They have very large fangs, which can be up to 1.5 inches long, and each fang is equipped with venom, but it is mild and not dangerous to humans, unless you're allergic. Just knowing how big it is and that it packs venom should be enough to convince you not to mess with this thing. The thing is, it's not size nor venom that you should be worrying about. It's actually the hairs. They can rub and release the fine hairs from their abdomens. These urticating hairs irritate the mucous membrane of a predator, for example the nose, mouth, and eyes. Needless to say, if these little suckers get on your skin, you're gonna be itchy for days. Number 5. The honey badger. Honey badgers, also known as rattels, are related to skunks, otters, ferrets, and of course other badgers. These voracious omnivores get their name from their fondness for feeding on honey and honeybee larvae. They also eat insects, amphibians, reptiles, birds, and mammals, as well as roots, bulbs, berries, and fruits. Though they hunt for their own food most of the time, they'll happily steal from other carnivores or scavenge the kills of bigger animals when the opportunity arises, giving them the title of the world's most fearless animal. Their prominent sharp teeth, long foreclaws, and stocky build allow them to easily rip meat from bone. Honey badgers can be found throughout most of sub-Saharan Africa, Saudi Arabia, Iran, and Western Asia. They can adapt to a variety of conditions, from warm rainforests to cool mountains. Their home ranges can be as vast as about 193 square miles. And if they look like a skunk to you, the two have more similarities than you think. In a gland located at the base of its tail, the honey badger stores a putrid-smelling liquid, just as powerful as a skunk's. Number 4. The thorny dragon lizard. The thorny dragon lizard, also known as the malak, the thorny lizard, or the mountain devil, is an amazing Australian reptile. It got its name owing to the two large horn scales resembling that of devil horns. Despite its appearance, this intriguing creature is totally harmless. They are found in central and western Australia and inhabit deserts and scrubland. They are currently an endangered species and are being actively protected by conservationists. The whole upper side of the lizard's body is covered with thorns. Also, the creature features a spiny false head on the back of its neck. These natural spikes act as a defense mechanism against predators. The thorny devil can measure up to 20 centimeters long, including the tail, and females are bigger than males. In general, the species are brown and tan in color, but like the chameleon, this reptile also has the ability to change color. Though they look like they feed on the souls of sinners, they mainly eat ants and can gobble up to 3,000 of them in a single meal. Number 3. The tube-nosed bat. Remember when I told you about Dracula transforming into a giant flying fox? I take it back. If there was an animal that our beloved Count would transform into, it would be this. Just look at it. Don't tell me that that face doesn't remind you of a blood-sucking vampire. But in truth, humans pose more of a danger to these magnificent creatures than them to us, because as the name suggests, they mostly live on a diet of fruit. The Philippine tube-nosed fruit bat is listed as critically endangered, facing an extremely high risk of extinction in the wild, on the IUCN Red List of threatened species. They live in the remaining lowland rainforests of Negros, Cebu, and Sibuyan in the Philippines, where they are locally known as the Bayakan. On Sibuyan, only a small population survives in the hills. The largest population lives on Negros Island, where it now lives principally, perhaps entirely, in a narrow ribbons of forest, usually only a few thousand feet wide around the shoulders of two mountains in the southern part of the island and two in the north. Now it's time for today's best pick. Today's pick is an animal that took the word scaly and took it up a notch. Instead of looking like scales, they look like spikes. Does this prickly looking snake actually exist? Let's find out next with number 2. The African hairy bush viper. These are very venomous snakes that are native to African rainforests. These spiny-scaled venomous snakes are relatively small and get their name from the keeled scales on their bodies. These creatures are also semi-arboreal, preferring to climb in trees for most of the day. Their venom is neurotoxic and can cause organ hemorrhaging, but toxicity varies with each individual. These snakes feed on small mammals, birds, lizards, and frogs. They hunt mostly in trees but can hunt for prey on the ground as well if they need to. They are ambush predators who wait patiently for their prey by hanging from trees or hiding in foliage, and curling up into an S shape before lunging at prey, killing them with their venom. Spiny bush vipers are primarily nocturnal creatures, spending the daytime basking on top of flowers and small trees about 10 feet off the ground. They may also climb reeds and stalks, but they prefer the terminal leaves and flowers of smaller trees. Due to the remote locations of these snakes' habitats, there is not much interaction with humans, so that's a relief. Before we move on, do me a favor. My analytics show that only about 15% of you watching are actually subscribed. Come on guys, what's up with that? Can you guys please hit the subscribe button? You guys watch my videos every day anyway, so you might as well subscribe and keep up to date with every video we put out. Number 1. The shoebill. Dubbed the ugliest bird in the world, the shoebill certainly has what it takes to make it to this list. It looks like a cross between a dinosaur and a bird, and with good reason. Scientists are constantly discovering links between dinosaurs and birds, and the way this bird looks certainly proves that. Shoebills, however, are an ancient species and were quite revered during the ancient times. They are ever present in ancient Egyptian artwork, and ancient Arabs also showed respect for the bird by calling it Abu Markub, which literally translates to a father of a slipper. How that is supposed to be a term of reverence escapes me at the moment, but one thing is for sure, shoebills have always been, and will always be, named after some kind of footwear. To accompany their terrifying looks, shoebills are quite adept hunters, hunting like the swamp bosses that they are. The shoebill will stand there, motionless as a statue, and wait for some poor lungfish or baby crocodile to swim by. Then the bird will pounce forward, all 5 feet of it, with its massive bill wide open, engulfing its target along with water, mud, vegetation, and probably some other helpless fish. Have you ever had any encounters with scary animals? Let us know in the comment section down below. Want to watch more videos about amazing scary animals? Click on any of the videos you see on your screen. As always, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Later, everybody.